this is an area where a practitioner already working, maybe in a clinic, can actually use this as this paired meridian balancing as a therapy, and totally independent therapy if they wish. Or you can just start treating people with this therapy as soon as you learn how to do it. And it's not really that difficult. All you have to know is basically, and you don't have to know it absolutely pedantically, but you have to know basically where the meridians run in your body. That's all you have to know. And you have to know also what are called the balancing points in the body. So each of these, there are 6 of them, so you balance a meridian pair each time. For instance, we start off with the heart and the small intestine, which are a meridian pair. So we start off, this is the fire element, so you start off with the fire element first. The job of this massage technique is to set up all of the others. So it's slightly different in the way in which we stroke the skin than the others. The others all go from the largest number to the smallest number, and the acupuncture points. Whereas this one, you start from you go in the reverse direction. So what this controls is someone comes to you for healing, and they're hysterically laughing all the time. That's obviously a condition that needs to be fixed. This, yeah, too happy, too bloody happy. So it controls the amount of happiness and laughter that people are doing all the time. Like, you might just be talking to someone and you say, "Oh, you look at that bird," and they go, So, I mean, that's unnatural, you know, you can't have that. So that person needs to be, now that's you as a clinical person doing something to a patient. That's the beauty of this. You obviously can't tell someone who's hysterical, laughing hysterically, to do this. You can't tell them to do that, obviously. So you have to do something to the patient to start with in order to get them to a point where they can then work on themselves. So the beauty of this is that you also have a movement or 2 movements from your taiji form that you can then, done in a certain way, that you can then give to that patient to take it home and to keep that balancing happening. All you're doing is, it's like one of those barometers with the water in it, and what happens to the human body is this sometimes happens or this sometimes happens. Here's the heart meridian, here's the small intestine meridian, and so you might get this happening. Too much yang in the small intestine meridian, not enough yang in the heart meridian. And so you need to balance them back so that they're equal again. You see, that's all we're doing with this meridian balancing massage. We're simply balancing them both back to normal again. And so to keep that going when the patient goes home until their next visit, you give them these movements that they can do by themselves, which are a Qigong in themselves, which will keep that meridian pair balanced. So we want to keep the heart and the small intestine meridian in balance. So the first thing I'll show you is how to do it on another person. Laurel? Now, of course, you might have the person lying down on a massage table, you might have them sitting on a chair, or whatever. So we'll just sit down on the ground. Okay, so we first balance the heart meridian. The balancing point for the heart meridian is small intestine 11. And take notes if you wish. Small intestine 11. If you simply take the scapula here, there it is. There's the scapula, and poke, slap bang in the middle of it. It's a very sore point when you press it. Slap bang in the middle of your scapula. Boom. You can feel it on your partner. If you just fiddle around there, they'll go, whoa! And then you know where it is. You know you've got it when it feels really sore, really quite sore. Thanks, Lola. So that's the balancing point for the heart meridian. It's a small intestine point. The left hand is always the balancing hand. The right hand is the doing hand. That's all you have to remember. It's your right hand that does the balancing. It's the left hand that holds the balancing point. And you always use Lao Gong pericardium 8. So when you're placing your hand over the top of small intestine 11, you place Laogong over the point. Now as long as you've got this balancing point here correct, it doesn't matter if you're not too sure about where the heart meridian runs, as long as you get the rubbing somewhere where the heart meridian is. You can only balance the heart meridian whilst this point here is activated. You see, you can't balance you can't balance the lung meridian if you've got small intestine 11 activated, you see. So by placing Laogong, your left Laogong, over small intestine 11, you can only balance the heart meridian. That's all you can do. Now, with the heart meridian, as I said, heart and small intestine meridian, they're the fire meridian. They set up all the other meridians. That's another job that it does. The direction we go in is different to all of the other pairs, the other 5 pairs. The other 5 pairs are the normal acupuncture flow. This pair, though, is the reverse. So we start down here on the inside of the little finger, and we just put Laogong on it, and you simply rub up the inside of the arm. Your skin can be like just touching the hairs on the person's arm. That's as close as you get. And so you just rub from that little finger up the inside of the arm, up the inside of the biceps, and you just have the person's arm open a bit so you can just wipe